Hey yogis, and welcome to day 7, our final day of our 7 days of yoga. This is just going to be a nice, easy flow to kind of wind down from our practice. Grab a couple of blocks, quiet spot, roll out your mat, and I'll get a personality. Sorry. All right, so we're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and lay down. And take a moment before we move into it. Feet flat on the mat, let your knees drop in toward each other. Hands rest where they feel comfortable, and take a second just to close your eyes. And to let yourself kind of drop in. To make your way here. Take a couple of breaths. And once you feel you've kind of at least begun the process of gathering yourself, you're going to take your legs and fold them into, like we were sitting cross-legged, right? So left heel is going to go toward your right butt, and your right shin's going to cross in front. So just kind of hanging out here in the hips. If this is really super crazy and it's too much, you can take your right leg and extend it out and just keep the left leg folded in. It makes it a little more gentle, right? Then you're going to take your arms overhead, bend your elbows, and just grab either your wrists, your forearms, or your elbows. It doesn't matter what forearm is on top, but just start to relax your forearms, your elbows, your shoulders, everything down into the mat. And if you can close your eyes here, then go ahead and close your eyes. And start to feel your legs soften a little bit more, opening through your inner thighs, your hips. And the muscles in your stomach soften. And feel where your shoulder blades rest on the floor, the center of the back of your head, and your forearm that's down there. And notice if you're still holding on anywhere, if there's any gripping in your muscles, and see if you can start to relax that grip. If not yet, then don't worry about it. We're going to take another breath here. And then simply switch the cross of your arms so the other forearm is on top, and cross your legs so the left shin is in front. Again, if that's too intense, right leg's going to stay bent in. You can stretch your left leg out and relax here. Today we're just going to try to flow movement to breath. So if my pace is a little off from yours, don't worry about it. Move at your pace with your breath. We'll all end up in the same place at some point. Another breath here. And then slowly start to draw your knees in toward each other and pull them gently into your chest. And give yourself a little roll side to side. You take your head, rock it side to side. Ooh, can you roll on your low back and spin your head side to side at the same time? That's a little bit much for my brain. Okay. And then from here, you're going to drop your feet to the mat. All right, left leg's going to stay where it is. Take your right leg, stretch it up straight. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Take a moment here, kind of roll out your ankle. Point and flex. Usually this is where there's some snap, crackle, and pop. That's cool. And then pull your toes back towards you for a moment. As you extend up through the back of your leg, you can gently pull in with your hands and press your thigh into your hands. So there's a little resistance. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna keep your right leg extending up toward the ceiling, but let your arms drop by your side. And when you inhale, you're gonna lower your right heel toward the mat. And when you exhale, you're gonna pull your belly button back toward your spine and imagine that it was your core muscles that are gonna pull this right leg back up. Inhale and lower. Exhale, pull your belly button back, draw the leg in. And again, inhale, lower. And exhale, squeeze it in. And lower again, inhale. And exhale, pull it in. Last time, inhale, lower. And exhale, squeeze it in. You're gonna take this right ankle, cross it over the top of your left thigh. Flex your right foot and just hang here for a second. You can kind of let this right knee kind of flap. That's a great word, flap. Okay, and then with this right foot flex, take your right hand to the inner thigh here and just encourage a gentle external rotation through your hip. That's it. Arms by your sides now. Start to pull your shoulder blades in toward each other. You're gonna push into your left heel. As you inhale, lift your hips. And now you wanna feel your right knee kind of melt out to the side, but notice how that makes your right hip point drop. Try to keep the right hip point lifted as you, as you melt that right knee open. Inhale. And when you exhale slowly, you're gonna drop your hips back down to the mat. Keep your arms at your sides. On your next exhale, you're gonna pull your left knee in with that right ankle still hooked over the top of the thigh. Like we were gonna come into figure four, but with no hands. Inhale, drop your left foot to the mat. Exhale, lift your hips back into this one-legged bridge. Inhale, lower your hips. Exhale, pull the left knee in. One more of those. Inhale, lower your left foot. Exhale, lift your hips. Inhale, lower your hips. Exhale, draw that left knee in. Now if you want, you can interlace, take your right hand through your legs, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. And come into our more traditional kind of static version of the pose here. And just take a few moments. And send some tender love and care to that outer right hip, the right glute. Ooh. Okay, legs are gonna stay as they are. Take your arms out to the sides and then drop this whole leg unit over to the left until you're standing on your right foot. And you can take your left hand to your inner right thigh if you want to encourage that opening still away from your chest, or you can take your right hand onto the top of your right foot. Or your left hand onto the top of your right foot. It's whatever you want to do here, right? And as this right knee moves away from your torso, you're going to gently spin your torso away from your right knee. So everything's kind of trying to spread out a little bit. And breathe. That's it. When you inhale, you're gonna come up through the middle and pull this right leg into a half happy baby. You can keep your left foot flat on the mat for the beginning of it or for the entirety of it. If you wanna stretch your left leg out, you can stretch your left leg out. Whatever works. But if you're like way up here with the left leg and it just feels super uncomfortable, just bring your left foot to the mat. All right, deep breath in. When you exhale, right foot to the mat. Let it settle there for a moment. Then you're gonna stretch your left leg straight up, interlace your fingers behind your thigh, and give yourself a second to kind of roll out your ankle. Oh, there's one. And you can wiggle your toes, point and flex. Yeah. And then give yourself a moment to stretch through the back of your leg here as you lengthen up through your heel, draw your toes back toward your nose. Create some resistance between your hands drawing in and your thigh pressing away. Inhale. And when you exhale, you're gonna bring your arms by your sides. Keep this left leg lifted, right? Inhale, lower it down, hover it above the floor. As you exhale, pull your low belly in, drag the leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. I like to put my hand on my belly. Sometimes it helps me to focus where I'm supposed to be working. Two more, squeeze and lift. And lower. And squeeze and lift. All right, then that left ankle is gonna cross over the top of your right thigh and hang here for a second. Flex your left foot just so we don't get any overextension in your outer ankle there. And then you can take your left hand to your inner knee or your inner thigh here. Press a gentle opening. Doesn't have to be mega here. And then arms by your sides, shoulder blades in. You're gonna press into your right heel and lift your hips. And maybe this side feels vastly different. It does on my body. It may on yours too. Feel this left hip point lift up and then allow that left knee to start to sag open. It's an active sagging. Is that a thing? I'm not sure. Take a breath in. And when you exhale, set your hips back down. Kind of reorganize. Inhale here. And then exhale, draw your knee in. Without using the hands, right knee comes in toward your chest. Inhale, drop your right foot. Exhale, lift your hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, right knee in, squeeze. Inhale, lower your right foot. And exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, draw that knee in. You can thread your left arm through your legs, interlace your fingers behind. Soften your shoulders and let yourself rest here. Your right foot can just kind of chill, but just make sure you've got that left foot still working the flex. Take another breath. All right, and then arms out to the sides, legs stay as is, drop all the way over to the right until that left foot's stepping on the mat or on the floor. You can use your right hand to encourage this knee to open, or you can take your right hand to your foot. Either way, you want to keep this leg from dropping in. Keep it working away from you. As you spin your torso to the left, you can even slide your gaze across your left arm. And breathe. Okay, and then back up through the middle. Bring this left leg into a half happy baby. Oh, we protest there. Okay. All right, so you can keep this knee bent if you want, or you can extend it out. Oh. If you've got your right leg extended, try to work a little energy into the leg. I mean, make it worth your while. It's down there. Might as well do something. Take another breath. Okay. And then you're going to let this left foot hit the mat. Oh, take your right foot up to meet it. Okay, so we're going to do one little other core thingy here. So we've done, I think, one of them before, but another one may be new, at least to our 7 days of yoga. So take a breath in. When you exhale, you're gonna pull your thighs in and press them into your hands. So we create resistance there, okay? And then inhale, you're gonna straighten your legs. Let your arms rest on your stomach. When you exhale, squeeze your low belly in and up and press your heels toward the ceiling. So you get a little tiny lift, your low butt off the floor. And then set it down. When you inhale, exhale, bend your knees, squeeze them in. Inhale, stretch your legs up straight. Exhale, low belly lifts, heels toward the ceiling. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, heels to the sky. Inhale, bend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, straighten. And heels to the sky. Bend those knees. Squeeze on your exhale. Straighten them out. Lift your heels. A couple more. Bend your knees and squeeze. Straighten up and lift. Last one. Bend your knees and squeeze. Straighten them up and lift. And then bend your knees all the way in. Give yourself a hug. Let your knees spread a little bit wider and draw them in toward the outer edges of your body as you rock a little bit back and forth. And And we're gonna stay here in the center here. Draw those knees in. It's almost like we're coming into a happy baby, but we're gonna stay with just the hands on your knees, right? Knees pull in toward your rib cage. Then start to lengthen your tailbone down. Like you could iron out the length of your spine. Press it gently into the floor. All right, and then bring your knees together. Roll to one side and come on into table. Okay, here we go. All right, hands underneath you, knees underneath your hips. Gonna take your right leg, kick it out behind you, tuck your toes to the mat. Keep your abdominal muscles lifting in and up here. All right, when you inhale, we're gonna lift this right leg up. Fire up your right side glutes, core stays strong. And then slowly we're gonna drop that right foot back down to the mat. Keep the leg extended, take a breath in. When you exhale, you're gonna pull your left knee into your chest. A little more core sneak. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift your right foot up. Inhale, drop your foot. Exhale, lift your knee. Inhale, lower your knee. Exhale, lift your heel. Right foot down. Exhale, left knee in. One more. Lower your knee and lift your heel. Lower your foot and lift your knee. And then lower that knee back down. Sweep your left foot out to the side. You can walk your left hand a little bit forward if you feel super crunched here. You're gonna spin around, so now you're facing the long edge of your mat. Shoulder over that wrist, or maybe slightly behind, whatever feels better on your shoulder there. We're gonna lift your right leg up. Take your right arm alongside your ear. I know I said we were gonna take it easy. I mean, we're working a little bit here, but not too hard, I hope. Inhale. When you exhale, elbow to knee, give yourself a crunch. Inhale, kick it out straight. When you exhale, you're gonna bend your right heel in toward your butt and maybe grab the top of your foot. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, elbow to knee. You guys get the pattern here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Maybe it's just a tap. Maybe it's a grab. Inhale, straighten. One more. Exhale, pull your knee in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend your knee. Grab your foot. We're gonna hover here for a moment. Tailbone long. If you don't have the foot grab, it's cool. It doesn't really matter. We're just working toward it. Roll your shoulder back, lift your chest. Then you're gonna stretch your right leg back out. Let your foot drop to the floor. Slide your right hand back underneath you. Bring yourself back through your three-legged table. Inhale, float your right leg back up. When you exhale, you're gonna round it in and step it forward. If you want the blocks here, go ahead and grab your support system. It's always good to have them around. Inhale, lift your chest, sink your hips. Oh, and then exhale, you're gonna drag your hips back. You can bring your arms back underneath you if you want. We're not gonna hang here for too long. You're gonna inhale, rock forward again, coming into your lunge. Exhale, hips draw back, little Ardha Hanuman. One more inhale, rock it forward. Exhale, pull it back. And then a rock it forward here, tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee and just push gently through your back heel. And from here, you're gonna get rid of the blocks, or at least move them to the sides. Plant your hands and step it back into downward facing dog. And take a second here just to move in any way that delights you today. All right, inhale, come on forward into your plank. And when you exhale, drop your knees. Shoulders back, elbows in, glide your chest and chin forward, little baby chaturanga. And then launch off those toes, little baby cobra. Inhale here. And exhale, release your forehead, press into your hands, come on up into table, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, take your knees back down to the mat. All right, left leg back behind you. Right, push through your heels. Core strong. Inhale, we're gonna lift that left leg up. Exhale, set it back down. take a breath here. We're gonna take the first round slow. Exhale, right knee in. Now we speed it up. Right knee down. Exhale, lift your left heel. Left foot down. Exhale, squeeze your knee in, round. Lower that knee. Exhale, lift your heel. Last one, drop the ball of your foot. Squeeze the knee in. All right, let that knee drop. You're gonna sweep your right foot behind you. Drop your left heel. And you can take your right hand a little bit farther away from you so if you feel like you've got enough space to then roll open, okay? Fire up your inner left thigh. We're gonna float that left leg up. Take your top arm alongside your ear. This is the hardest we're gonna work. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend your knee. Grab your foot. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, bend and grab, or tap. And reach. And grab. And reach. And grab. Last little thing here, kick your foot behind you. Top of the foot. If you can grab it, roll your left shoulder back. And then kick your left leg back behind you. Set your foot onto the mat. Swing yourself around so you're back into your table. Belly strong, float your left leg up. And then you're gonna step your left foot through. Grab your blocks if you want them. Find your low lunge as you sink through your hips. Broaden through your collarbones. And when you exhale, drag your hips back. You can bring the blocks with you if you want. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, rock forward. And pull it back. And then rock it forward again. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, float it up. All right, you can take the blocks, slide them out of the way, plant your hands, step back again, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, press through the four corners of your hands. Imagine that you had basketballs underneath your hands, right? You're trying to palm those basketballs. Keep your hands working as you draw your triceps in toward your ears. Take your gaze forward and tiptoe. If you feel like hopping, you can hop it forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press the floor away. Come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. And exhale, hands down through prayer. Okay? All right, I'm gonna get these out of the way. I'm gonna shift your weight onto your right foot and pull your left knee into your chest. Find your balance here. You can find your gaze point. Something better than a blank wall. All right, hands come to prayer. Kick your left foot out in front. Inhale. When you exhale, you're gonna sweep the left leg back, coming into like a little baby warrior three. You can bend your right knee. Inhale, you're gonna come back up. Kick your left foot forward. Little pendulum. Exhale, swing the left leg back, bend your right knee. One more of those. Inhale, kick it forward. Exhale, pendulum it back. Soften your right knee so you can slowly step back for crescent lunge. Inhale the arms up. All right. From here, you're gonna inhale, press into your right foot, straighten your right leg, drop your arms. All right, exhale, we're gonna sink back into the knee, reach your arms up. Inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, sink. One more. Inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, sink back into your lunge. Let your left hand flow to the floor. Lengthen your spine. Take a twist, opening to the right. Sweep your right arm up. Deep breath. And then from here, you're gonna take your gaze back down to the floor. Open your right toes. Drop onto the outer edges of both feet. Slowly lower your left outer hips toward the floor. This is like a what the heck? Eventually it comes, right? Right hand reaches toward that back foot, and now you're gonna lift your hips, Swivel yourself all the way around, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana just for a moment here. Press through the outer edges of your feet. Inhale up onto your fingertips, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold. And again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale and release. Nice, easy flow with your breath. Last one, inhale, flat back. Exhale and release. Start to walk your hands back toward your right foot. Spin your right toes toward the front of your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come on forward into your plank. And when you exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, baby cobra, or an upward facing dog. I don't do those too often anymore. And pull it back. Downward facing dog, take your gaze forward. And as you exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Press the floor away. Come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. And hands down through center. Samasthiti. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Last little bit here. Draw your right knee into your chest. And you can use your hands. Give you some support while you find your balance. And then hands come back to prayer. Take your right foot, kick it out in front. Inhale. Little warrior three, pendulum that right leg back behind you. Soften your left knee. Inhale, back up, kick your right foot forward. Exhale, swing your leg back. Bend your left knee. Last one. Inhale it up. Wah. Exhale, swing it back, soften your left knee, and then step your right foot to the back of the mat. Yes. Take your arms, reach them up. Low belly still engaged as the tops of your shoulders melt away from your ears. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Drop your arms. Exhale, sink back into your crescent. Inhale, lift. And exhale, sink. Inhale, lift. Exhale and sink. One more, let's do it. Inhale, lift, it feels good. And exhale and sink. Slowly lower that right foot to the mat. Lengthen your spine and spin your left shoulder open. You can take your left fingertips up. Keep your hand on the mat or on the thigh here. Then take your gaze down to your right hand for a second. You're gonna take your left foot and spin it open. You may wanna walk it a little bit farther away from you. It's up to you and your hips, right? We're gonna drop onto the outer edges of both feet. Sink this whole right side body down as you stretch your left hand toward your right foot. And now you're gonna lift your hips, pivot yourself all the way around, coming back into Prasarita Padottanasana. Yep. Outer edges of your feet root down, but make sure that you are still rooted through the balls of your feet and the inner heel. You don't want to kind of lose the weight distribution. So the four corners of your feet still equally rooted. Fingertips to the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine as you roll your inner thighs behind you. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and release. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and release. Walk your hands back toward your left foot. Swing your left toes open. Step it back. Downward facing dog. From here, slowly lower your knees to the mat. Untuck your toes. Set your hips back to your heels. Find child's pose. If this feels absolutely brutal, then you're going to pop yourself just into a table for a moment. Let your shoulders drop. Let your head hang. Sometimes child's pose just is not the place to chill. It's okay. All right. And then from here, slowly come on back up. Sweep your feet to one side, butt to the mat, legs out in front. Okay. Pull your heels in. Just gonna do a gentle twist before we we close up our 7 days of yoga. So feet to the mat, about hips distance apart. You'll know what feels comfortable. Take your right hand across to your left knee, and you're gonna press a little bit, left knee into hand, pull a little bit with that right hand, swing your left hand behind you. Sit nice and tall, keeping the structure of your foundation steady so your spine can roll its way into a twist. Inhale through center. Switch as you exhale. Find your twist here. Inhale through center. Gonna drop your knees, soles of your feet come together and grab onto your ankles. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale and fold. Walk yourself out and over. Inhale again. Gonna lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold. One more, just like that. Inhale, lengthen up, stretch out and over. Let your eyes slide closed. You can let your chin drop to your chest. And shake out your head. Slowing back down, come back to your breath. Then slide your hands underneath you. Slowly come on back up. Grab those outer knees with your hands. Stretch your legs out. Scoot yourself toward the top of the mat. And lay back. When you get back there, if you need another kind of hug in and rock around, that's cool. Take your time. Do what needs to be done so you can find your final rest. If you've kind of de-layered, you can relayer, putting stuff back on, socks and sweatshirts and sweaters and whatever, or a blanket under you or over you. Anything to make you cozy here as you unwind into your final place of rest for the day. Start to settle in. Close your eyes if you haven't already and breathe. Let all the work of your practice, the work of your day, and even the past few days, months, even the past year, see if you can start to let it kind of slide off, chipping at it one breath at a time. If your mind wanders, if someone walks in the room or you're distracted by a dust bunny on the floor, see if you can just come back, regather, relayer, and refocus on your breath. And you are 100% welcome to stay here as long as you like. Pause the video and take a few more moments here. When you're ready, you're going to start to deepen your breath, to bring some movement back into your body, subtle at first, but your fingers, your toes, and gently draw your knees in one at a time and come to rest on one side and take a minute to pause. And press into the strength of your arms. Make your way up. with your gaze still inward and your eyes closed, if you can manage it, make your way back to a comfortable seat. Feel your sitting bones lengthen down into the earth and the crown of your head lengthen up into the sky. Bring your palms together, bow your head, and take a moment to honor your time on the mat today and all of those other moments that you've cut out for yourself and stepped onto your mat, maybe in the past 7, past 10, past 20 days. Thanks for sharing a bit of your time with me. I've enjoyed the ride. Hopefully you have as well. And I look forward to practicing with you again. Please, if you liked this, let me know. Drop a comment below if you want to see more things like this, more stretches of yoga at a time. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. Hit that notification bell and share with friends. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.